Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping into Kiera Cass's novel, The Selection, really popular book.
It is, yeah.
And for this deep dive, we're working from a pretty detailed summary of that first book. So all the key stuff should be in there.
Got it.
Our mission basically is to pull out the most important bits, the world, the characters, what makes this story tick. Think of it as a shortcut to getting the core of it all.
Sounds good. It's a rich story. Definitely lots to unpack.
Absolutely. And it kicks off with this really interesting question, doesn't it? What happens when what you want personally just slams right into what society or maybe your duty expects, especially when we're talking royal marriage, televised competition? The stakes are high.
Really high, yeah. That conflict is central.
So let's start with the setting. Illea, it's described as a future post-war North America, but now it's a monarchy.
Right. That immediately tells you we're not in Kansas anymore, so to speak. It's a familiar geography, maybe, but a totally different political and social structure.
How does that structure work? I mean, what's the first thing that jumps out?
Well, the big thing, the thing that affects everyone, is the caste system. It's super rigid. Number 1 to 8.
1 to 8, okay.
Yeah. 1s are the royals, obviously. 2s are the elite, think celebrities, military officers, politicians. Then it goes down through 3s being educators, inventors, 4s farmers, and artisans.
And it gets poorer as you go down.
Exactly. 8s are at the very bottom, the poorest, often unemployed, doing the most menial, unwanted labor. And your caste, it basically decides everything. Your job, who you can marry, your whole life, really.
Wow. So can you move between them?
They say it's extremely difficult. Almost impossible, really. It creates this huge sense of confinement for the characters. It's always there, this invisible barrier.
And right in the middle of this society, you have the selection. Tell us about that.
Right, the selection. It's this tradition where when the prince needs a wife, they hold a competition.
A competition, like a pageant.
Sort of, but way more intense. 35 young women are chosen, supposedly by lottery, from all the different castes, well, eligible castes.
Oh.
They're brought to the palace to compete for Prince Maxon Shreve, and it's all televised.
Televised, so it's a public spectacle?
Totally. For the royals, it's partly about finding a queen, sure, but it's also massive PR. Keeps the public engaged, generates goodwill. It's quite strategic.
It sounds like reality TV almost. High-stakes reality TV.
Pretty much, yeah. The personal and the political are completely tangled up. Every date, every argument, potentially seen by the whole nation.
Okay, so let's meet the person at the center of this for us, our protagonist, America Singer.
Right, America.
She's a 5. What does that mean in this system?
5s are artists and performers.
Yeah.
Musicians, dancers, painters, sculptors, that kind of thing. So America and her family are musicians.
Okay, creative types. But you mentioned the castes go down in wealth.
Yeah, and 5s aren't high up. They're respected for their art, maybe, but they struggle financially. America's family definitely feels that pinch. It's a constant source of stress.
And she has a secret.
She does. A secret boyfriend, Aspen Ledger.
Aspen, and
He's a 6.
Oh, so a lower caste than her.
Exactly. 6s are servants, laborers. So their relationship is not just secret, it's unconventional and risky. It crosses those rigid caste lines.
That must cause tension.
Huge tension, especially for Aspen. He loves America, but he feels this intense pressure and, frankly, insecurity because he's a 6. He worries he can't provide for her, that he's not good enough because of his caste. That pride issue is really central to his character early on.
So how does America end up in this selection? I get the feeling she wouldn't volunteer.
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah.
She initially refuses point blank to even apply. Her heart belongs to Aspen. She sees the whole thing as kind of ridiculous, but her mother is relentless.
Yeah.
She sees the selection as their family's only ticket out of financial hardship. It's this once-in-a-lifetime chance, right?
The classic pushy parent trope almost.
A bit, yeah, but driven by desperation. And then the twist is Aspen actually encourages her to apply.
He does. Why?
On the surface, he says it's a great opportunity for her family. But underneath, you can tell it's tied into his own feelings of inadequacy. Like, maybe this is the life she should have, one he can't give her. It really hurts his pride.
Oh.
Big ouch. And then, the absolute kicker, right before she finds out if she's even been chosen, they have this massive, devastating breakup.
No. Why?
It boils down to his insecurities again. He feels like he's holding her back. He pushes her away, brutally honest about feeling she deserves better than a 6.
So she's heartbroken.
Completely heartbroken.
Yeah.
And then she gets the letter saying she's been selected.
Wow. Talk about timing.
Right. It's fascinating because her heartbreak is what ultimately allows her to even go. If things were fine with Aspen, she probably wouldn't have. It pushes her onto this path she absolutely did not choose or want initially.
So off she goes to the palace, nursing a broken heart. What's that like?
It's overwhelming, as you'd expect. Pure luxury,
Yeah.
gorgeous rooms, amazing dresses, maids assigned to each girl. The whole fairy tale setup.
A gilded cage, perhaps.
That's exactly how America sees it at first. She's impressed by the surface, sure, but she feels trapped. And don't forget, there are cameras everywhere. Constant scrutiny.
And how does America handle it? Does she try to fit in?
Not really. That's what makes her stand out immediately. Her frankness and refusal to act like someone she's not. She's blunt, she's honest, she doesn't really play the game the way the other girls do.
Which must make her first meeting with Prince Maxon interesting.
Oh, it's memorable. She's having a bit of a panic attack, trying to get some air outside, and bumps right into him.
Awkward.
Very. And instead of being charming, she basically unloads on him. Tells him she doesn't want to be there, she's only there for her family, and she's definitely not interested in him romantically because her heart's broken.
Wow. Bold move. How does he react?
Surprisingly well. He seems almost intrigued by her honesty, maybe even refreshed. Everyone else is probably falling all over him.
True.
So she makes this deal with him. She says, look, I don't want to marry you. You don't really want to marry me right now, but I could be useful.
Useful how?
She offers to be his friend, his ally. Give him the inside scoop on the other girls, honest feedback, help him figure out who might actually be genuine.
And he agrees.
He agrees. He finds her perspective valuable. He promises to keep her around for a while, at least until she feels ready to go home, partly for her insights and partly so her family can benefit financially from her being there. A very unusual arrangement.
Definitely sets up a unique dynamic. But it's still a competition, right? There must be rivals.
Oh yeah, the competition is fierce, alliances form, tensions run high. The main rival, the sort of antagonist among the girls, is Celeste Newsom.
Celeste, what's her deal?
She's a 2. So, very high status. And she's described as stunning, confident, and manipulative. She knows how to play the game and isn't afraid to, play dirty.
Okay, the classic mean girl.
Pretty much, yeah. She sees America as a threat, partly because Maxon seems interested in her, despite her lower caste and lack of polish.
Does America make any friends?
Yes, thankfully. Her closest friend becomes Marley Thames.
Marley.
She's a 4. Described as sweet and kind-hearted, she's a genuine friend to America, a real source of comfort and support in that high-pressure environment.
That's good. She needs an ally.
Definitely. But the competition isn't the only pressure. There's also this external threat. The rebels.
Rebels? What rebels?
Yeah, Illea isn't as stable as the monarchy likes to pretend. There are these rebel groups, northern and southern rebels, who periodically attack the palace.
Attack the palace while the selection is going on.
Exactly. It adds this layer of real physical danger and urgency. It's not just about winning the prince. Sometimes it's about surviving an attack.
That raises the stakes considerably. What do we know about these rebels? What do they want?
It's a bit mysterious in the first book, but there seems to be a difference. The southern rebels are depicted as more violent, causing destruction. The northern rebels, they seem more focused, maybe searching for something within the palace, like historical records or secrets. It hints at a deeper unrest in history that Illea tries to suppress.
Interesting. Okay, so back to America and Maxon. They have this friends deal, but does it stay that way?
Well, that's the core of the story, isn't it? It starts as a deal, but America slowly starts to see Maxon differently. He's not the stuffy prince she expected.
Oh, so?
He's actually respectful, kind, thoughtful. He genuinely seems to value her honesty, even when it's critical. And she, in turn, starts to challenge him.
Challenge him how?
Because she's not from his world, she can offer him a perspective he's never had. She tells him about the struggles of ordinary people, the unfairness of the caste system, things his sheltered upbringing has shielded him from.
So she's educating him in a way.
Exactly. And it's important. He's the future king. Her perspective helps him grow, helps him see beyond the palace walls. It's not just romance. It's about him potentially becoming a better leader because of her influence.
Is there a moment where she really sees his character?
There's a really touching moment. Maxon finds out her family is struggling for food, and he arranges for extra food from the palace kitchens to be secretly sent to them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's a small gesture in the grand scheme, maybe, but it shows his empathy, his willingness to bend the rules for someone he cares about. It really affects America. Shows her he's more than just a title.
So feelings are starting to maybe bubble up.
Definitely. She's starting to question her initial dismissal of him, but just as things are getting complicated with Maxon,
Uh-oh. Don't tell me.
yep, Aspen Ledger shows up
At the palace.
at the palace as a new member of the palace guard.
No way. How?
He enlisted in the army. It's one of the few ways to potentially move up in caste.
Ah.
As a soldier, he's now technically a 2.
A 2, same as Celeste.
Exactly. So he's done this, partly, to prove he can be good enough for her. And he wants another chance.
Oh, this is classic love triangle territory. Poor America.
Total emotional chaos for her. She's caught between this old, familiar, passionate love with Aspen, the life she always thought she wanted, and these new, confusing, but maybe promising feelings from Maxon, representing a future she never imagined.
And while all this internal drama is happening, what about the external threat? The rebels.
They become more frequent, more intense. The danger feels much more real.
You mentioned a difference between North and South rebels.
Yeah, the distinction becomes clear. Southern rebels seem focused on violence, destruction, chaos. Northern rebels seem more targeted, like they're looking for specific things in the palace. Rumors mention old diaries, hidden documents, stuff like that. It hints at a political motive beyond just random violence.
Does this danger bring America and Maxon closer?
It does. There are instances where they get trapped together during attacks, forced to rely on each other. It strips away the ceremony and reveals Maxon's sense of responsibility, his courage under pressure. It deepens their bond in ways that polite dinners and dates couldn't.
So the external threat really highlights character.
Absolutely. It forces America to confront what's real. Aspen represents her past, the dream she had. Maxon represents, well, a potential future, a much bigger, scarier, but maybe more impactful future where she could actually help change things for people like her family. The danger clarifies those stakes.
Okay, so the competition must be narrowing down by this point.
It does. It eventually gets down to the final 6. They call them the elite.
The elite. Who's in it?
It's America, her friend Marley, the rival Celeste, and then 3 others, Chris, Natalie, and Elise.
So the pressure's really on now?
Immense pressure. The stakes are incredibly high. It's not just about winning anymore. It's about who will be the next queen of Illea.
And where's America's head at this point? With Maxon? With Aspen?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Oh.
She realizes the selection has become way more than just a game for her. She's genuinely invested in Maxon, curious about where that relationship could go.
But Aspen?
But Aspen is right there, in the palace, sneaking moments with her, reminding her of their past, pulling at her heartstrings. It's incredibly complicated. She's torn.
Does Maxon know about Aspen being there?
Not explicitly, no. But he senses America's hesitation, her divided heart.
And he's okay with waiting.
Not indefinitely. He gives her a warning, basically. He tells her, gently but firmly, that he cares for her, but he cannot wait forever for her to make a choice. The implication is clear. If she can't commit, he'll have to move on.
So the choice is hers.
Entirely hers. And that's pretty much where the first book leaves us.
No neat resolution.
Nope. It ends on that cliffhanger, that tension of unfinished choices America hasn't chosen. But she does decide to stay. She commits to staying in the competition and trying, really trying, to open her heart fully to the possibility of a future with Maxon.
Wow. Okay, quite a journey in just the first book.
Definitely.
So if we were to pull back and look at the big themes we've touched on here, what stands out from this deep dive?
Well, several key things, I think. First, obviously, is choice versus duty. That's America's core struggle, right? Her personal feelings versus the expectations of the selection, her family, and maybe even her potential role.
Right, that's front and center.
Then there's the class inequality. That caste system isn't just background. It drives so much of the plot and the characters' motivations and limitations. It's a constant source of conflict.
Yeah, you can't escape it in this world.
Exactly. Third, I'd say courage and honesty, America's defining traits. Her refusal to just play along, her bluntness, that's what makes her different, what attracts Maxon, and what ultimately gives her agency in this very restrictive system.
Her honesty is almost like a superpower in that setting.
Kind of, yeah. And finally, related to that, is the power of perspective. How America, coming from outside the elite world, fundamentally changes Maxon's understanding of his own kingdom. It shows how just listening to a different viewpoint can be transformative, especially for someone in power.
Those are great takeaways. It really shows there's more going on than just a romance.
Much more.
So we've unpacked the selection, and it's clear it's this really compelling mix. You've got the romance, sure, but also some sharp social commentary, political intrigue, even action with the rebels.
Absolutely. It blends genres really effectively.
It definitely leaves you thinking.
It does. And maybe a final thought to leave our listeners with is this. In a world like Illea, where your birth dictates almost everything about your life, how much real freedom, how much personal autonomy can you actually carve out?
That's a deep question.
And when love itself becomes a political tool, a performance for the public, what does a truly genuine choice even mean in that context?
Hmm. Definitely something to chew on. Powerful questions. We hope you'll reflect on those ideas and maybe even check out the selection if you haven't already. Thanks for diving deep with us today.